Warsaw Chief Prosecutor Małgorzata Adamaitis said an investigation had been launched into Polish refiner Orlen's Swiss unit, including allegations of links between its former chief executive officer and terrorist organizations, such as Lebanese Hezbollah. Polish website Onet, owned by the Swiss-German publisher Ringer Axel Springer, had reported that the former CEO of Orlen Trading Switzerland, referred to only as Sama A, was suspected by Orlen's internal security unit of having contacts with Lebanon's powerful Iran-backed Hezbollah group.
Wszelkie okoliczności, które znane są również
All circumstances known to prosecutors from the press, radio and television, including possible connections with terrorist organizations, will be subject to verification during the investigation.
terrorystycznymi będzie przedmiotem weryfikacji w tym postępowaniu.
Sama A denied in an interview with Polish private radio RMF that he had any connections with Hezbollah. State prosecutor Dariusz Koneluk said that apart from OTS, investigators were also examining whether Orlen artificially lowered fuel prices ahead of the 2023 election and sold assets at below fair value as part of a merger with the smaller rival Lotos.
Bardzo bulwersująca sprawa.
A very shocking case that has recently been revealed is the unsupervised transfer of over 1 billion Polish zloty to OTS.
1,5 miliarda złotych. Sprawy dotyczące Orlenu są...
Matters related to Orlen are very important from the state security point of view, including energy security.
bezpieczeństwa państwa, w tym bezpieczeństwa energetycznego. Z tego też powodu
For this reason, we approach these matters with the greatest determination and priority.
i priorytetowo.
W postępowaniu OTS, tak
In the Orlen Trading Switzerland investigation, as I said, investigations are running. It is too short and requires time to verify the status of the people involved in these proceedings and who led to such enormous mismanagement and the unauthorized expenditure of over 1 billion Polish zloty.
w sposób nieuprawniony ponad miliarda złotych.
Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk said he had called the country's chief prosecutor and secret services coordinator to discuss potential links between the former CEO of Orlen, Daniel Obajtek, and Hezbollah. Obajtek responded on the social media platform X that Tusk was looking for scandals where there are none. On the 14th anniversary of the Smolensk disaster, on April the 10th this year, the chairman of the Law and Justice Party and the twin brother of President Lech Kaczynski, who died in the disaster, destroyed the scandalous and provocative inscription on the wreath placed on the monument by political opponents. In line with Soviet practice, the text blames the tragedy on its victims. For this crime, the parliament submitted a motion to waive the immunity of the head of the largest opposition party.
Chyba każdy z nas zachowałby się w podobnej sytuacji.
Each of us would behave similarly in this situation if there was an inscription on the grave or place of commemoration of someone close to us, that he was a murderer and that he killed 100 people. Each of us would remove such an inscription. There is nothing to say. The person who baselessly disseminates such lies should be responsible for this, not a member of the victim's family, no matter who it is.
Tego typu kłamstwa nie mające.
On the 10th of April, on the anniversary of the Smolensk tragedy, Jarosław Kaczynski tried to tear off the plaque and took a wreath left by the provocateurs with the inscription, "In memory of the 95 victims of Lech Kaczynski, who, ignoring all procedures, ordered pilots to land in Smolensk in extremely difficult conditions." A wreath was left at the Smolensk monument despite requests for a dignified commemoration of the victims. The Central Communications Port, or CPK, is an investment whose aim is to link up the air, rail and road transport routes and to take advantage of Poland's location to increase its share of world trade. The project was supported by the previous Law and Justice government, and during the election campaign Donald Tusk promised to liquidate it. In recent months, however, even supporters of the Liberal left government have called for continued development of the investment. This is opposed by the Germans, who fear the loss of transit revenue. That is why Donald Tusk does not announce that he is abandoning the construction of the CPK. But facts contradict word, and the government is slowing down the project. It is no longer media reports, but concrete documents and decisions that clearly show that the actions of Donald Tusk's government are delaying the construction of the central communication port with the airport in Baranów. This is the decision of the Mazovian Voivode of the Civic Platform. The Voivode of Mazowiecki has issued a decision on the suspension of the party CPK SPZU in the administrative proceedings concerning the issue of a decision on permission to enter the land for the purpose of carrying out geological works. It should be emphasised that everything was requested by the authorities of CPK from Donald Tusk's party. The whole thing is being supervised by the government's representative for CPK, Maciej Lasek.
Od początku było wiadomo, że Maciej Lasek...
It was obvious from the beginning that Lasek's purpose is not to build something but to destroy. And the delays are tragic because the Austrians and Hungarians are already preparing to expand their ports. And if we let go of this momentum, it will not make sense to build such an airport in the future. The government of Donald Tusk does not want to announce officially that it is abandoning the construction of CPK.
Rzeczywiście, że będzie
Of course, the creation of CPK will create good communication links for Poland.
dla Polski.
But we can forget about the mega airport, as the president of the low-cost airline Ryanair, who admitted that he met a representative of the Polish government.
Nie
Nor
ma
is there
też
any vision
wizji
of creating a
tworzenia
central
centralnego
communications
portu
port. We have already
komunikacyjnego.
met the
Spotkaliśmy się
Deputy
już z
Minister of
wiceministrem
Infrastructure, and we believe that he is
infrastruktury
interested in the
i
development
jesteśmy
of all
zdania,
airports
że
in Poland.
zależy mu.
The government is doing all it can at least to slow down the project. They use blackmail. Either we build CPK or Chopin Airport in Warsaw. In this way, the authorities want to discredit the project in the eyes of the inhabitants of the capital, where it enjoys great support.
Jeżeli
If the airport in Baranov is built, it makes no sense to leave Chopin Airport.
sensu.
Moreover, there are absurd announcements about the expansion of Chopin Airport.
Jeżeli ktoś uważa,
If someone thinks what Tusk government is trying to convince us, that it is easier to demolish part of the Asinov district, part of Rashin, and other places surrounding Akencha Airport, pay billions in damages and demolish part of the Beltway, they want us to think that all this is easier than building the CPK airport. No, they don't want to build CPK because they know it will threaten the German economy.
wiedzą, że CPK zagrozi gospodarce niemieckiej.
Because CPK is not only about moving people to their destination, but also cargo.
Przeniesienie do Polski obsługi cargo lotniczego.
Moving the air cargo services from Germany to Poland will lower our costs. 80% of Polish air cargo flows through Germany. Moving that stream to Poland means 200 billion zloty more in the Polish budget by 2060.
Podatków oznacza 200 miliardów więcej.
Today, President Andrzej Duda emphasized, if the CPK project is implemented, together with the mega airport, we have a chance to become the eastern heart of the European Union. Investment is also very important for the security of our country.
Bo będzie to jedyne w Polsce lotnisko.
This will be the only airport with the capacity to service large Allied military transports of troops that will protect the eastern borders of NATO and support our army that protects the country's security.
Obronie bezpieczeństwa Rzeczypospolitej.
But such arguments never convinced the current Prime Minister, Donald Tusk, who was more open about his intentions towards CPK during the election campaign. CPK makes no sense. According to all the experts I had a chance to listen to, this project is a monument to arrogance and ignorance. It's supposed to be a grandiose monument of a certain government, but from your point of view, it makes no sense at all. It is not known which expert opinion Tusk is referring to. Journalists are also asking, but there are no answers to questions submitted in mid-February. Many reminders. The CPK is being attacked today almost in the same way as the port of Gdynia was attacked 100 years ago. The started construction of the port in Gdynia is a farce not suiting modern requirements. This construction will cost us billions and will take hundreds of years. Besides, we know our way of building, so it is better to leave alone such costly and hopeless construction. Today, Donald Tusk's government seems to be abandoning a great development opportunity for Poland, the central communications port. German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock and her Polish counterpart Radosław Sikorski met on the country's shared border on Wednesday to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Poland's accession to the European Union. Neither Eastern enlargement nor the EU fell from the sky, said Baerbock at a joint press conference with Sikorski. It took the courage of political leaders and citizens to take this step into the unknown, she added.
Und deswegen bin ich so dankbar, dass wir heute hier am Tag der Arbeit, der ja auch überall begangen wird, eben diese
And that is why I am so grateful that here today on Labour Day, which is also celebrated everywhere, we are celebrating this Eastern enlargement, because it did not fall from the sky, just as the entire European Union did not fall from the sky, but required the courage of political leaders and citizens to take this step into the unknown. And when you take a step into something new, you don't know whether it will be a good one.
Diesen Schritt zu wagen. Und wir erleben ja gerade in diesen Zeiten.
And in these times of social media, we are experiencing that this venture always brings headwinds. And for me, on this wonderful birthday, that is also our responsibility, to keep reminding ourselves that we will not achieve great things like unification of the heart of Europe if we allow the headwinds to keep us down.
Großes wie eine Vereinigung im Herzen Europas nicht schaffen, wenn wir uns vom Gegenwind klein kriegen.
On this wonderful birthday, that is also our responsibility, to keep reminding ourselves that we will not achieve great things like unification in the heart of Europe if we allow the headwinds to keep us down, Baerbock said.
W Unii i Niemcy, i Polacy jesteśmy bezpieczniejsi, współdecydujemy o kształcie Europy i całej.
We Poles and Germans are safer in the European Union, and we decide collectively on the shape of Europe and all of Western civilization. I have an appeal to our younger friends that we do not allow this right to be a free Europe, which we want, to be taken from us. Once again, I am very pleased to be here together with you on this joyful anniversary. Thank you very much.
Być tutaj razem w tą radosną rocznicę. Dziękuję bardzo.
Poles and Germans are safer in the European Union, said Sikorski, and said he appealed for the younger generation not to allow this right to be a free Europe to be taken from them. Joschka Fischer and Władimir Cimoszewicz, who were respectively the foreign ministers of Germany and Poland in 2004, also took part in the anniversary celebrations. 20 years ago, they symbolically opened the Frankfurt-Słubice border bridge on the 1st of May 2004, on the day when Poland officially became a member state of the European Union alongside 9 other new members.
Europa muss zur Sicherheitsunion werden, denn wir erleben, wie wir alle wissen, nur ein paar Stunden von hier in der Ukraine.
Europe must become a security union because, as we all know, just a few hours from here in Ukraine, our freedom, the freedom of Europe, is being defended every day against Russia's brutal war of aggression. This means that we can no longer afford any grey areas in Europe. And what was created 20 years ago, where people lay in each other's arms, united under the European anthem in the evening, we must make that possible again, to reform the European Union in the coming years so that it becomes stronger in terms of security policy, so that it really speaks with one voice, and at the same time to include those countries in our European Union that also want to become part of this union of freedom and peace.
Diejenigen Länder, die auch Teil dieser Freiheits- und Friedensunion werden wollen, in unsere Europäische Union aufzunehmen.